Whether Boise State Public Radio brings a smile to your day, some inspiration, or a greater connection to Idaho and the world, we're proud to be here with you. Federal funding, about $1.60 per person annually, helps keep these trusted services strong and accessible to everyone in our community. Learn how you can safeguard local public media stations like ours by visiting protectmypublicmedia.org.
It's the Connector Idaho Daily News. Good morning. I'm Troy Oppie. It's Friday, May 2nd. This morning, May Day protests in front of Boise City Hall. A longtime mayor in the Treasure Valley will not seek office again. Plus, a lawsuit against Boise Police, Ada County Sheriffs, and the State Department of Health and Welfare from a woman who says police shot her son during the middle of a severe mental health crisis. And one Idaho brewery takes home a medal at the prestigious World Beer Cup. Those stories and lots more to get you going on this Friday on The Connector from Boise State Public Radio. Those were the sounds from in front of Boise City Hall yesterday, where about 800 people gathered to mark International Labor Day, or May Day. Our Julie Luqueta dropped by and has this report.
Elena Hicks, one of the volunteer organizers behind the rally, said the protest was about representing the working class.
Another big part of what we're trying to focus on are local items. What can we control locally, and what are our representatives doing to represent us?
Retired forester Steve McCall and his partner drove down from Lowman to attend.
There's so many things coming at us, we can't fight it. I don't have any ways I can resist it. Writing letters doesn't seem to help. Just showing up physically just feels really important to me.
Here to support the LGBTQ community, Bob Bolliard said his biggest fear was a descent into fascism.
We need to overturn President Trump's overreach. We need the Congress to stand up, man up, woman up, and bring peace back to America.
Following speeches, protesters briefly walked downtown, chanting. Many held signs calling out Doge and the billionaire class. Some defended public lands and Social Security. Others condemned Trump's immigration policies and warned Americans were at risk of losing due process rights. Julie Luqueta, Boise State Public Radio News.
Five-term mayor of Garden City, John Evans, announced he will not seek the office again. Evans was first elected in 2005 after already having served 10 years on the Garden City Council. The mayor's office is part-time in Garden City, and Evans, now 77, has split his time between City Hall and real estate development. In a news release, he says leading the city has been an honor of a lifetime. The parents of an allegedly sexually abused special education student at Boise's Valley View Elementary School have filed a $50 million tort claim against the district. Idaho Ed News reports the parents say their child was taken advantage of, sexually abused, and appeared in child pornography made by a former special ed assistant, Gavin Snow. Snow took his own life in January as police were moving in to arrest him. The Boise School District has admitted publicly Snow engaged in, quote, multiple instances of inappropriate behavior, unquote, and has committed to policy changes to limit the chance of private interactions between staff and special ed students. The parents allege Snow was not properly trained or supervised, that his suspicious behavior went unreported, and a lack of policies left their child and others vulnerable to predatory behavior. A tort claim is not a lawsuit, but can precede one if the two parties do not settle. Boise Police, Ada County Sheriffs, and the Idaho Department of Health and Welfare are named in a new lawsuit brought by the mother of a 40-year-old man shot to death by police on Interstate 84 in 2023. The Idaho Statesman reports Barbara Decker in the lawsuit says her son Jared was severely mentally ill, and his release from state health and welfare custody months before he was killed, quote, led to his homicide, unquote. She says he was unmedicated and unaware of his own mental illness. Police say Decker would not comply with their orders to stop walking on the side of the interstate, and when a deputy went to physically restrain him, the two fell to the ground, and Decker stabbed the deputy multiple times before other officers opened fire. Barbara Decker is asking for damages of more than $500,000 and assessment of policies, procedures, and training by the responding agencies, according to the Statesman. Yesterday, May 1st, was National Law Day, celebrating the rule of law in the U.S. Today, Idaho's next generation of legal defenders will be sworn in. Maureen Braley is the executive director of the Idaho State Bar.
The ceremony is the formal process of new lawyers taking the oath of admission. So it's a big day in a new lawyer's life because it marks the moment that they truly become a licensed Idaho lawyer.
29 men and women will be sworn in today before members of the U.S. Court, the state Supreme Court, and the District of Idaho, with friends and family, of course, as well. That'll happen at the federal courthouse in downtown Boise. The admission ceremony gets underway at 4 o'clock this afternoon. 2 East Idaho school districts spent weeks this spring going without the use of technology because of a ransomware attack. Idaho Ed News reports Jefferson County and American Falls schools had their systems temporarily disabled in the attacks. Jefferson County's in late January or early February, and American Falls was knocked offline in late March. Jefferson schools had to rebuild affected systems. That recovery remains in progress. American Falls was able to use an offline backup to rebuild quickly. Ed News reports the districts reported a silver lining of more engaged students, better communication, and increased participation in the classroom. American Falls even says it plans to implement a technology-free week on purpose for 1 week every school year going forward. Opening of the boating season on Payette Lake and McCall might be a little muted this year as docks at May Marina were damaged in a recent storm. The McCall Star-News reports wind-driven ice damaged the breakwater, walkways, and underwater supports, and major repairs will be needed. Temporary fixes, though, are already underway to try to get the dock usable by Memorial Day weekend. Permanent repairs will be needed this fall. That's all at May Marina. The same storm caused minor damage to the breakwater at the Shore Lodge docks, but the Star-News reports the city's dock and Mile High Marina suffered no damage. The 2025 World Beer Cup Awards were announced yesterday. These are the pinnacle of craft beer, awarding medals in categories from Pilsner to IPA, herb and spice beer, and everything in between. There's more than 200 categories. More than 600 medals are awarded. Only one is coming back to Idaho. Highlander Beer in salmon earned silver in the experimental IPA category. Congratulations to them. In sports, Boise State softball with playoff positioning on the line in its final series. Utah State is in town. Last 2 games of the regular season today and tomorrow in Boise. Bronco tennis, both men's and women's, are at the NCAA National Championship Tournament this year. The men today face Cal. The women are in for the first time in 15 years. They're matched today against Baylor. And also today, Boise State beach volleyball, making its first ever appearance in the NCAA National Tournament. The Broncos face 3rd-seeded Stanford this afternoon. That's your Connector on Friday, May 2nd. Thanks for listening. We are publicly funded at Boise State Public Radio. You're going to see a lot of news in the coming days about threats to a big chunk of that funding through the Corporation for Public Broadcasting. If you value the service that public radio and public media in general is, and the service that we provide to you, we hope you'll take a moment and visit protectmypublicmedia.org for more information about how you can support public media across the United States. I'm Troy Oppie. Our news director is Sasha Woodruff. Our general manager is Tom Michael. Lacey Daly is our digital strategy manager. Hope you have a wonderful weekend.